Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a little bit of time, but welcome back to Kaiserreich. Welcome home. We are playing as Serbia. I feel like this is one of the classic states that you would want to play as in a game like Kaiserreich. But I have never actually played as them. I've done some. I did an Austria playthrough forever ago. That's another one. I did a Bulgaria playthrough not on this channel even further ago, like before I started recording my games. Um, but I've never done Serbia, not once. So let's do that. I think we have the can't modify division templates modifier. We, of course, are aiming to, undo the results of the First World War. We want to undo the results of the Weltkrieg. We want to see if we can form Yugoslavia. Get ourselves a Yugoslavia setup. We are going to do rural credit banks. We have a bunch of options. Interesting. So, we can use the conspiracy as a mode of rearmament. We can rely on narcotics in the military, boosting national populist popularity, or bypass the military and pay large amounts of political power instead. We can do support resistance niche. I assume that's how you pronounce that. I guess I'm going to build that. Do I want to build forts? I feel like building forts seems a little dumb. I don't know if I don't know who's going to get involved in this. I just know it's going to be me and Romania. I assume the Greeks are going to get involved. They almost always do. But to what degree? So we're planning for an early war. We might want... Yeah, I don't think we can support... How are our templates looking? Yeah, we're just infantry. Okay. I guess we want to go electromechanical engineering. Electronic mechanical engineering, just because it's relatively cheap. Feel like artillery would be good if we could cut it. Got early truck. Do we want... I don't know. I guess basic machine tools. How much production do we even have? Not much. I guess we'll do basic machine tools. I don't know how much it matters. So, we got ourselves an inflexible strategist and an old guard field marshal. Minus, we'll go with Mr. Inflexible. And I don't remember which one of these guys are war criminals. Like, I think a good number. Just like, there's a good chance if you select a guy from this area at this time, they were probably involved in something resembling war crimes. Alright. So, I'm going to kind of vibe it when it comes to the election, which probably means we're going to get the default result, because that usually is how things work when I go with, I just don't have a plan. I could go bonkers and, like, go for, tons and tons of conspiracy. But I don't know. We could boost our manpower. What is our... We have recruitable 48. How is our equipment? This is... We basically don't care about that. Manpower, more guns. Scarred Nation. That might be good. How is Scarred Nation? Reduces our recruitable population factor. I don't know how much that even matters. I'm gonna do nothing for now and unpause. Alright. Okay, Serbian elections in 1936. Oh, 1936, what a year. In terms, the terms of the second president of the Serbian Republic, Dragomir Vasic. Boy, prepare yourselves for me not being able to pronounce any of these words. Dragomir Vasic is coming to a close on the 5th of October. New elections will be held in the Serbian Skupština. According to the Constitution of 1926, the Skupština is a unicameral legislature elected by all male and female citizens of the Serbian Republic in free, universal, and secret ballot for a 5-year term. The government structure in Serbia is semi-presidential. The president is selected by a legislature, much like a prime minister, but has considerable power in domestic policy and the appointment of public officials, along with the usual duties of representation of the state in foreign affairs. While the prime minister is dependent on the backing of the Skupština, the president serves a predetermined 5-year term no matter what takes place in the legislature. It's not to say he's all-powerful, however. He needs parliamentary support for pretty much all appointments in legislation. Okay, great. We have a presidential republic? Whatever. Electoral campaign in Serbia began late last year, continues in 1936. The world veers close to war, so to the Balkans. The fourth, which wins this election, may get to decide the fate of the country for ages to come. May the strongest party win. And we get to press buttons, maybe. Not yet. Yeah, how are we on trains? That's a good question. We have 4. 4 is probably enough. The question is, do we want to train our forces? I think we can afford to. We can afford to speed it up. Yeehaw! Viktor Chernov is assassinated. How barbaric. We're probably hoping... Whoop. Totalist Charter. The people must reject this madness. We've seen all of these 700 times. Eddie VIII is king. Great Britain. Good for him. Alright, several things have happened. Rural credit banks. Who cares about Afghanistan? And Black Monday! Mein Gott! Alright. So do we have any mutants we can take? Press? Yes? No? More population is good. Immunizations and literacy. Just, oh, I should read rural credit banks. Simply put, credit is lacking in rural areas, often concentrated in urban areas instead. Rural credit banks are a growing presence in agrarian countries, and Serbia is no exception. These banking systems created to give poor peasants access to much-needed financial support and credit will help grow rural economies. Immunizations and literacy. This is just your standard, let's modernize the country shtick. Despite decades of rural education funding, the inhabitants of the Serbian countryside remain largely illiterate, nor are they provided with basic health care and livelihood. We should establish traveling companies of teachers and doctors, provide Serbian villages with immunizations and free lessons on basic literacy. Alright. Still not sure whether I should press any of these buttons. Okay. Oh, hey! That seems like that might be useful. I might want to do that later, but, you know. Okay, shots of the dark. The news reports are still flying. The story is still being pieced back together, but here's what we know. Major Zivan Kisnevic, an induct into the Konspiracija, secret society, an officer in the Serbian army, was making way home in Belgrade, followed by alongside a fellow soldier. When the two of them realized they were being followed, not willing to take the risk, the two men hastened their pacing, hoping to come across either civilians to use as cover or a phone booth to call the police, but neither came. Instead, the mysterious assailants opened fire, seriously wounding Kisnevic and killing his peer. Wounded, the officer was dragged out of sight and someone's corpse behind him. It took the police 2 days to be informed about the officer's disappearance, and the search across Belgrade is immediately initiated. That's Njazevic was found, but by then it was already too late. He was long since dead. Police officers found his corpse in the outskirts of the city, and it was left the message, thus unto all enemies of God, the king and the white hand. How dare they? A murder, most foul. Anyways, the Jacobins have been elected in France. So these guys are the kooky ones. Have fun, guys. Austrian Empire withdraws from Italy. Oh, it's clear that Black Monday has hit the Austrian Empire hard. The Austro-Hungarian Reichskrieg minister today announced he was recalling divisions stationed in Italian territory, unable to afford the financial burden of keeping them safe from the Socialist Republic of Italy, for good or ill. The Italian Republic is now effectively independent of Austrian domination, at least until the Austrians regain their full strength and decide whether or not their interests in the Italian peninsula are worth regaining. Many in the Italian Republic have expressed worry about whether or not this will leave them exposed to attack by the Socialist Republic of Italy, a move which would plunge Italy into civil war once again. Austrian influence wanes further. That's relevant to us, which is why I read it. Womp womp. Alright. How much is this going to cost us? It's not great. But we can press a button. Gaining army XP is probably good. But I think the thing we really want is anything that gives us political power. Or, honestly, Mr. Chetnik, man. Stability. All of these seem fine. I don't think we have the club. Alright. Black Monday hits Serbia. Serbia was devastated by the Weltkrieg more than any other nation. It lost a quarter of its population. The entire nation was left plundered. Half of it was annexed by Bulgaria, while the rest had to set massive concessions to the Austrian Empire. Yet, despite it all, Serbia endured, slowly rebuilding as a stable, if weakened economy based around agricultural production and free trade. The reforms by King Alexander II's prime minister. Okay, so this is a monarchy. Wait. I guess? I don't care. King Alexander II's prime minister, Vojislav Vielkovic, were not undone by the Republican government, so the stable Serbian dinar he fought for remained through the 1930s. The collapse of the Berlin stock market has undone most of that work. Though Serbia is not as tied to the German economy as other countries in the region, the collapse of worldwide trade has tanked their agricultural exports, and so left much of the economy in a void. A package of response methods and reforms already being prepared, but the populace hit straight in the pocket no longer have as much trust in the Republican Party. After all, they should have prevented this. This is a disaster. Activates mission. Response to Black Monday. Okay. 60 days. Ah, okay, so we have to complete stuff. How long will this take? So this will take 20 days. 20 plus 35 is fine. I think we'll finish immunization and literacy and just focus on all of the good stuff. Okay, we should be fine. What do we want to spend our political power on? Yeah, that's the real issue with the Conspiracy, is that if we click Conspiracy buttons, we lose political power. Which, yeah, I don't think that's worth it. Illusion of Qing hegemony shatters the end of an era. No. So, it begins. Good luck, guys. You will need it. Hoi. Alright, now we have to... This is basically the point where we maybe need to make some decisions. Montenegrin federalist gains in local elections. Several months prior to the parliamentary elections of the Serbian Republic, local elections for mayors and direct council had been held in Montenegro. The Montenegrin Federalist Party, I'm not even going to attempt that, the CFS, has acquired an impressive victory. I mean, that first one. I want to try it. That's Kronogoška Federalistika Stranka. Okay, I guess that's not as bad as I thought it would be. This does not appear in English, by the way. See, this is why people make jokes about vowels being like purged from these really really from like the Balkans, I guess. Whatever, doesn't matter. Anyway, so the CFS has acquired an impressive victory. A majority of the mayors, district councils, and other notable elected positions in Montenegro now held by their members. In addition, the CFS plans to contest Montenegrin seats in the parliamentary elections, both with leaders Sekula Djordjevic and Novika Radovic are standing for the Skupština. Skupština. The CFS is the moderated successor of the Montenegro Greens, a guerrilla movement loyal to the house of Petrovic Njegos, which operated in Montenegro in the 1920s. When the unification of Serbia and Montenegro into a puppet kingdom under the Karađorđevics was proclaimed by the Central Powers, these guerrillas organized in the mountainous regions to remain active until the Republican Revolution. While radical members of the movement continued the struggle, they could hardly expect the restoration of the house of Petrovic Njegos even in a Montenegrin federal unit inside Serbia. Moderates and Montenegrin politicians, led by Djordjevic and Radovic, sought to negotiate. President Jasa Protanovic granted them amnesty and signed several concessions for Montenegrins to law, such as increased local autonomy and recognition of the Montenegrin language. Now that 1936 rolls around, the CFS remains a powerful force in Montenegro, and their deputies in the Skupština may prove especially crucial to swing the election depending on who they choose to work with, socialism or not. I mean, that sort of seems to be the question. Are we going to become socialist or not? We've done a lot of socialism. Let's do Republicans. It's kind of where I'm feeling. Anyways, emboldened socialist movement. The ongoing economic crisis dealt a serious blow to the mining industries in Montenegro and manufacturing in Belgrade. The workers there are understandably unhappy. This creates a potent radicalized mash for the workers on the left to take advantage of and build their support with the Socialist Workers' Party, and its call of labor empowerment is attractive to the average Jovan out on the street. They compete for this niche with the Socialist Party of Serbia. However, reformists break away from the SRP, composed of its moderate wing, which generally serves as the mediator between the Republican and Socialist workers. Inherently socialist, they state the material conditions in Serbia are not fit for a revolution, that socialism can be achieved through parliamentary process, which side will the mass bend to workers' party, workers' party. It's ain't rocket science. Maybe the unemployed could be directed to the moderates. I don't know. Maybe they can be directed to the moderates. Maybe. Oi. Okay. That's Jotik's speech. The right wing of the Serbian political spectrum, beyond the People's Radical Party and the Agrarians, is mainly composed of monarchists, so we are a republic. That, I guess, makes sense. And among the two movements are the most notable state party. Serbian Democrats was the sole legal party of Alexander II's royal dictatorship, and lingers on as a small, moderate monarchist party, concentrated in a few constituencies where they are the strongest, and were too insignificant to threaten the Republican order. They were allowed to remain legal after the revolution. Second, a party formed after the revolution, for a new generation of monarchists, named Bujen Awakening, and its leader, Dmitry Jotik, has been slowly making a name for himself. Speaking before the Skupština, Jotik has addressed what he perceives to be key issues of the Serbian Republic: the death of God in a nation overtaken by lust and contempt, and the daily endless crushing of souls by the sledgehammer of capitalism, which past governments have enabled with their policies. The politician's esoteric way of speaking convinced few and made him few allies in the legislature, but it was characteristic of the so-called Mita Bogomolzak, devotionist Mita. Even back when he was an official in King Alexander II's royal dictatorship and a deputy from Smederevo, Jotik was unnerving to his peers. He declared his service to the Karađorđevic to be a divine providence, and that the Serbian people to have a God bestowed mission in the world, and his orthodox faith is beyond even the fanatical. Leading a far-right extremist nationalist royalist party, Jotik is now a minnow in the political stage, and has been allowed to remain for now, but who knows where he might end up if circumstances change. We will watch him closely. Alright, anyways, we have no options, but we must stabilize the Serbian dinar. Or we'll fail this mission. Maybe 40 days to do it, and this, it's a 35-day focus, so... Arthur Horner's elected chairman of the TUC. Interesting. I don't agree with that statement. I don't think Arthur Horner's that interesting. These two states really need to be updated. Anyways, the Pope's dead. How terrible. It happens. All right, okay, that made me laugh. Okay, that's so funny. Okay, revenge. Once again, the law enforcement of the Republic has been mobilized after reports of a high-profile murder, and this time it takes only a few hours before officers in the Kragujevac, Krag, it's Krajugivac, Kragujevac, were met with the horrifying sight. The poor district of the city, several officers from the Serbian army relieved a few years ago because of suspicions they belonged to the right hand, stabbed and hanged by their feet publicly. A few children playing football around the block explained that some strange-looking men hanged them there not too long ago. Only the dimmest failed to realize what was behind those murders. Who was behind those murders? Not only was Mayor Zivan Kesnjevic a respected member of the Serbian Cultural Club, the secret organization behind it, but he was also the brother of Radoja Kisnjevic, commander of the Serbian Air Force, leading member of the Republican Party, and conspiracyja. While the military is understandably silent about events, and Kisnjevic merely expresses his solemn grief at his brother's death, it's almost certain these assassinations were made as an act of righteous revenge. And again, like everyone expected, the police closed the case a few days ago. Saying the investigation will pause for the time being, as no possible suspects have been found. We're a stable democratic republic! Please believe us! Please! Please! It's Pius the 12th. He's a paternal autocrat. Okay, man. Have fun with that. It's the 9th International Congress, an interesting development. Again, I'm not sure that's true, but okay. Political Survivor. I mean, Political Survivor might not be bad. Core territory fight is maybe not bad. Duration recovery rate might be a good long-term one. Recruitable population is sick, and I absolutely need to get that. We are all trained up. How's our guns looking? We have them. Nanjing Click. Alright, Republican election strategy. Originally founded as the Republican Democratic Party, the Republicans considered themselves the successors to the independent radicals of the pre-Weltkrieg era. Its left-wing Republican sympathetic faction in particular was founded by Ljubomir Stanjanovic and Jasa Prodanovic. In 1920, immediately moved to opposition to Alexander II's real dictatorship, being the most vocal democratic faction in opposition to King, quickly built up support and championed the Republican Revolution. The Serbian Republic, it is the more left-wing of the two main establishment parties, the other being the People's Radical Party. Right. The Republican Party is left of the People's Radical Party. I love party names. They're so stupid. In the election of like in the United States, we have Republicans who want a king. In the election in 1936, and then previously we had Democrats who didn't want universal representation for everyone. See also the Jim Crow. Yeah. Anyways, not whatever. Moving on. In the election of 1936, the Republicans go with everything to lose. They have been in power for the last 10 years under Presidents Prodanovic and Vasic. They now face opposition from the left and the right. If they seek to remain in power, they need to prevent the center from collapsing and ensure that neither the radicals nor socialist workers are able to muster a majority without them. What should be their strategy in the election? I'm noticing the thing that is probably confusing to me is these little dot C's on the end. If this were like truly English, we would just leave the C there and just make you figure out that it's pronounced differently. Be like, don't worry, you're just supposed to know that. How do you know? You just know. As much as I'm joking about like Serbian or whatever, like English is a fake language. It's so funny. I love it, but it's a fake language. All right, so stay the course, remain calm, thus maintain the voter base, attack the radicals, weaken the right, attack the socialists, weaken the left. I'm just gonna like chill. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. Oi. Do it. Oh, okay. Offer from the conspiracy. I'm gonna try to pronounce this correct. Conspiracyja. The conspiracyja has been observing the election in 1936 from the shadows of the growing threat of the The growth of the socialist movement in Serbia has left them concerned. There's no threat of revolution, at least not yet. The moderate faction, the SRP, is firmly under the secret society's control, but nevertheless present an unexpected factor in Serbian politics. And when the restoration of Greater Serbia is on the line, the thing with the Conspiracija wants most is no unwanted surprises. So military offer to provide support to the Republican Party and start a secret intimidation campaign among socialist ranks by pressuring some of the most vocal figures to shut their mouths and follow along. The party will surely lose steam quickly. Damn it. It's too risky. I'm more worried about I'm more worried about those guys than I am about the other guys. Alright, mechanical computing or construction or pew-pews. I think we maybe go construction? I don't know. Alright, we fully trained up the forces that we have. We have stabilized the Serbian dinar. We can legislate freedoms if we want. Okay, we completed that. Yay. Okay, we have 150 juice. We can grab a political survivor, giving us more political power gain and reducing our advisor cost. We can grab some other people. I think right now, I think a political advisor is fine, or political survivor is fine. So, sorry about that. Got interrupted. Actually, I'm just looking at the time. This is a good place to call the end of this episode, so I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.